Welcome back to Important Updates, global news without the noise. Subscribe to stay updated. I'm sure you've heard the news. Few places are as critical to the global economy as the South China Sea. It's a massive maritime highway connecting the Pacific and Indian Oceans. Trillions in trade pass through these waters every year, linking Asia's factories to markets worldwide. This makes it one of the busiest and most vital shipping routes on Earth. But it's not just about trade. Beneath the waves lie vast reserves of oil and natural gas. For surrounding nations, these resources mean energy security and potential wealth. The sea is also a lifeline for millions, home to some of the world's richest fishing grounds. Generations of fishermen from the Philippines, Vietnam, and Malaysia depend on its bounty. Disruptions here can devastate coastal communities. That's why so many countries, near and far, have a stake in its future. The United States, Japan, Australia, and India all want to keep these waters open. The principle at stake is freedom of navigation, the right for ships to sail through international waters without interference. For global powers, keeping this maritime highway open is essential for stability and prosperity. The South China Sea isn't just a strategic asset, it's a vital part of daily life for millions. Its fate affects everyone, everywhere. The competition for control, above and below the surface, makes this region a global flashpoint. The world is watching what happens next. At the heart of the South China Sea dispute is China's sweeping claim, marked by the 9-dash line. This U-shaped line on Chinese maps covers nearly the entire sea, clashing with the claims of every neighboring country. To enforce its vision, China has built artificial islands atop reefs and rocks, transforming them into military outposts. These islands now host runways, ports, radar, and missile systems, extending China's reach deep into Southeast Asia. From these bases, Chinese vessels patrol, monitor, and challenge other nations' activities. For neighbors like the Philippines, Vietnam, and Malaysia, this is deeply alarming. Their claims are backed by international law, specifically the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS. In 2016, an international tribunal ruled overwhelmingly in favor of the Philippines, invalidating China's 9-dash line. China rejected the ruling and continues to assert its claims, fueling ongoing conflict. The result? A tense standoff between China's ambitions and the established rules of international law. The 9-dash line isn't just a line on a map, it's the front line of a regional power struggle. The stakes are high, and the world is paying close attention. The future of the South China Sea hangs in the balance. The contest for control is far from over. Facing mounting pressure from China, the Philippines has found a key partner in Japan. Once divided by history, today they're united by a common concern, a more assertive China. Japan now supplies the Philippine Coast Guard with modern patrol vessels, communications gear, and training. This isn't just about equipment, it's about building the Philippines' capacity to defend its waters. Their militaries are also training together, conducting joint exercises to boost trust and readiness. These drills send a clear message. Both nations are serious about defending their interests. The partnership goes beyond security. Japan is a major investor and trading partner for the Philippines. Strong economic ties reinforce their strategic bond. Diplomatically, both advocate for international law and peaceful dispute resolution. By aligning their messages and actions, Manila and Tokyo are building a partnership with real influence. Together, they're shaping the region's response to China's ambitions. Their cooperation is a model for how smaller nations can stand stronger together. The Philippines and Japan are no longer just neighbors, they're allies in a changing Indo-Pacific. Their united front is reshaping the balance of power. The Japan-Philippines partnership just reached a new level with the Reciprocal Access Agreement, or RAA. This landmark pact allows each country's troops to train and operate on the other's soil. For Japan, it's a historic shift. Its pacifist constitution long kept its forces close to home. Now, Japanese troops could deploy to the Philippines, and vice versa, for joint exercises and disaster response. This dramatically extends Japan's reach and strengthens both nations' ability to respond to crises. For China, the RAA is a clear sign of growing resistance to its ambitions. Beijing sees it as part of a US-led effort to contain China and has warned against bloc politics. But for Manila and Tokyo, it's about deterrence and regional stability. Imagine Japanese jets flying from Philippine bases, or naval ships resupplying in each other's ports. The RAA makes this possible, boosting their combined power in the South China Sea. It's a direct response to rising threats, and a signal that the status quo is changing. The agreement marks a new era for Japan's defense policy, and for Southeast Asian security. The region is watching closely as old alliances evolve into something much stronger. The RAA is a game-changer in the Indo-Pacific. Tensions in the South China Sea are playing out in real time. At Second Thomas Shoal, the Philippines maintains a lonely outpost on a grounded ship, the BRP Sierra Madre. Resupplying the Marines stationed there is a dangerous mission. Chinese Coast Guard and militia ships routinely block and harass Philippine vessels, sometimes using powerful water cannons. These confrontations are risky. One wrong move could spark a crisis. Videos show jets of water slamming into Philippine boats, damaging ships, and endangering crews. China's tactics are meant to intimidate and force the Philippines to abandon its outpost without firing a shot. Filipino crews have shown restraint, but the risk of escalation grows with every incident. A collision or miscalculation could quickly spiral out of control. These flashpoints are a constant reminder of how close the region is to open conflict. The situation is a tinderbox, and every encounter adds fuel to the fire. The world is watching, hoping cooler heads will prevail. The stakes are high, and the margin for error is razor thin. The South China Sea remains one of the world's most dangerous flashpoints. The United States is a central player in the South China Sea drama. While not a claimant, America's security commitments run deep. Mutual defense treaties with Japan and the Philippines form the backbone of its Asia strategy. The U.S.-Philippines Mutual Defense Treaty now explicitly covers attacks in the South China Sea, a clear warning to China. The U.S. Navy's 7th Fleet, forward deployed in Japan, regularly patrols the region, challenging China's claims. America is also strengthening its presence in the Philippines, gaining access to more bases and rotating forces. As tensions rise, Washington's enduring presence is more important than ever. What's new is how the U.S., Japan, and the Philippines are now working together as a trilateral partnership. This alliance brings together the world's largest economy, a technological powerhouse, and a frontline state. Their leaders meet regularly, coordinating strategies, and sending a unified message to Beijing. Joint naval patrols and complex military exercises are now routine, demonstrating their ability to operate as a team. This united front is a direct response to China's actions. For Beijing, it's a major challenge. Intimidating one country is easier than facing three. The trilateral alliance shifts the balance of power, raising the costs of any aggression. The goal isn't to provoke conflict, but to deter it through credible strength and unity. On the water, US, Japanese, and Philippine ships now sail together, a powerful symbol of resolve. Their cooperation is changing the region's security architecture. For China, the message is clear. The days of divide and conquer are over. For the region, it's a new era of collective security. The stakes have never been higher. With so many ships from rival nations in close quarters, the risk of an accident is dangerously high. A single misstep or miscommunication could trigger a rapid escalation. Crisis hotlines exist, but they're unreliable. Sometimes the phone just isn't answered. The lack of trusted communication channels makes de-escalation difficult. There's also the risk of deliberate escalation, as each side tests the other's resolve. One wrong guess about intentions or red lines could lead to disaster. A conflict here wouldn't just involve local players. Treaty commitments could draw on the US and Japan. The global economy would be shaken, with shipping lanes closed and supply chains disrupted. The consequences would be catastrophic, felt far beyond Asia. That's why the world is so concerned about every close call in these waters. The stakes are global, and the margin for error is shrinking. The South China Sea is a powder keg. One spark could change everything. The South China Sea is at a crossroads. China is unlikely to back down from its claims or its island bases. In response, the US, Japan, and the Philippines are deepening their cooperation, finalizing new defense pacts and ramping up joint exercises. The goal to deter aggression by making the costs unacceptably high for Beijing. The question is whether this new balance of power can keep the peace, or if it will push China to respond even more forcefully. The stakes go beyond Asia. The outcome here will shape the future of the international order. Will disputes be settled by law and negotiation, or by force? The answers will define the 21st century. The world is watching as the next chapter unfolds in the South China Sea. The choices made here will echo for generations.